plugging away still at that point. But yeah, it's been a long time between drinks for Lynn Vision, and they've kind of had a couple of those opportunities now, going over to Malta for Pro League and then Sydney for IEM Sydney. And the last one kind of in the checkbook now actually is CAC, unless they do potentially obviously qualify for IEM China or receive that hero invite, which I would imagine they'll get one of the two. So even though they've had a couple of big notable opportunities, it's not as if those opportunities are slowing down. In fact, you could argue they're kind of picking up even, because IEM China, and then you're going to go sort of probably straight out of the major, the RMR cycle into IEM China. So there's going to be that to talk about as well. And I think Lynn Vision would definitely be up there in the discussion for a qualification through from the Asia RMR.
Wings up quick into water, spammed through the bridge smoke, gets land the opener. Wings up were preparing themselves for a bit of an A-side execute here. Two-man aggression from a man disadvantage situation. Lynn Vision forced to push as they're starting to lose control of the map, and G making that famous sing right now.
westmelon waiting patiently with the molly, but it's going to be unnecessary. Rotation's going across to B. This is not going to be a good feeling for Starry. Trying to hold B solo is a lesson in futility, really. There's just so many angles you have to be aware of and open to. So luckily, westmelon's been able to come across and can, at the very least, trade. MP9, though, not really going to be enough. And now it's on to G solo. Low HP was Blogus, but he hits the shot. And so Wings Up get through the round.
Much needed. Going to be a round which puts a lot of pressure on that CT side economy. Wings Up. Look, it's a similar position to Nuke, though. Can't get too carried away. They were being competitive, and let's be real, Lan quite fortunate to be able to get himself that spam kill through the smoke on the bridge player, which actually is what throws this this whole round into a bit of turmoil, honestly. But with the force coming in here for Lynn Vision and only one player surviving, we end up in a very similar position to what we saw on Nuke. A swing round in round 4. What comes out for G? Posted on the A main line. Amelia playing the close angle. Once again, Wings Up trying to get this A main control. Amelia disrupting, but only going 1 for 1.
This is where G does some of his best work from, though. Looks like Wings Up are wise to that trick, and they'll be able to force him away with a bit of util. Saka. He's got the auto shotty.
Continues to go back for more. This time it's Lan in the lurk position rather than flying. And comes this A execution. G trying to disrupt the smokes, and Zaka has found Lan on the lurk in mid.
Oh, Starry. Heading in the corner as well of the smoke outside of E-Box. This could be problems as Starry and Kreaz are looking at one another. Crowd starting to make a bit of noise, and Kreaz will be made aware perhaps by that fact, though westmelon is already over here, and he's dealt with the first one pretty comfortably. Looking for more. Blogus will miss a shot, and that is clean from Lynn Vision.
Once again, reset window not realized by Wings Up. Good enough to put some pressure on in the early couple of rounds, similar to Nuke, but unfortunately not good enough to break Lynn Vision, to really push them into that corner and just be able to take control of the game. From behind are Wings Up, and yet again without a bomb plant and no cash in the back pocket. They will have to concede the lead in this game and take an eco. And this is really where Lynn Vision started to pull away quite heavily on Nuke, and I am afraid it's kind of starting to shape up like the same story already.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Little adjustment there from westmelon to get rid of Blogus. No trouble at all. And a heavy presence into mid from Lynn Vision as well. They know that Wings Up is headed in that direction, and so they've reinforced it. And as the danger starts to pass, you see westmelon float back over toward the B site to assist Starry. So Lynn Vision are reading this pretty well.
Wings Up seeing what damage they can inflict with the pistols, but it's only Glocks and a P2. And they're really not being given very favorable angles at all. 5 alive for Lynn Vision. Once again, stabilizing their economy after winning the swing round, which puts Wings Up in a position where they must now find consistency on this T side to be able to crack their way back in.
August has gone for the SG.
Very limited nades here for Wings Up. Looks like they're going to try to go for this B pressure and pick. Is a pretty common approach on Anubis these days, is util pressure. Looks like it's already shaping up to be a quick B split through E-box though.
Oh, I was going to say handled nicely by Lynn Vision. It looked like they knew, but in fact, flying able to double down has kind of given us a little bit more to think about. G will miss the shot, and then Zaka as well, not able to strike for a couple of frags, leaves Amelia solo. They thought Lynn Vision had that round if I would have freeze framed it, but shots just did not connect. And see what Amelia can do about it. He's got a smoke, he's got lots of util, and now a defuse kit as well. Smoke's actually going to go into main, and a Molotov behind it. He's spotted that extra member. Nade into the smoke. Oh, will end up being his undoing.
I dare say this will be another swing round. And indeed, both teams out of money. Very middling loss bonus on 1900. So this is the chance for recovery from Wings Up to go one step further than what we saw on Nuke. Quick progression smoke into A main. Trying to take some space over there. Has generally been the common approach for Wings Up. They really are prioritizing working their way in through canals and then clearing out A main and just leaving Lan on the lurk towards bridge side, just running a 1-4 quite commonly. But look at this big rotation for Lynn Vision.
Great setup, really, for what it looks like Wings Up is about to do. She needs to be a little bit careful. Kind of retake long and flying again. He's on to a bit of a belter on this map so far. That's another huge double, now triple entry. In the same vein as what we saw. And this will be the first time in the series that Lynn Vision are on the back foot and having a save.
I was honestly quite confused why Flying was put in the lurk role on Nuke, to be honest. Flying, when I remember him doing his best work, was always on the aggressive end of the spectrum. Just quietly, by the way, westmelon is continuing to have an absolute belter in this series.
True.
This might be some insane rating by the end of the day here for him. But yeah, I much prefer to see Flying in that aggressive end of the spectrum on the entry or in the entry pack. And I think that round is a perfect example as to why I feel his impact was quite limited on the lurk in Nuke. So I think that this formulation for Wings Up is probably going to be a bit more of an effective one. And quite honestly, I really wouldn't mind seeing maybe put kreaz in one of those lurk roles instead and put Flying in the pack. Would be a bit more of a recipe for success, perhaps.
Well, I can tell you Kaze dropped a 1.69 rating in Tai Lu's series against Steel Helmet. But the first map stats haven't actually come through yet for Wings Up versus Lynn Vision. So we'll have to sort of keep our conversation in check until we get that. Though I will actually imagine that westmelon did do enough in that first map to probably better that number. And so far, 11-3 on map 2. I think he's probably doing just about enough as well. So see how it shapes up.
Surprised to see Blogger's glass cannon and all anti-eco here. Are a couple of rifles in here for Lynn Vision, but mostly a buy down to 2k kind of save situation. As we mentioned, though, that's a big round for Wings Up. That triple entry from Flying, so impactful. Breaks the money of Lynn Vision and gives Wings Up a bit of a chance here. Starting to work their way into an A split here. They spot out Zaka. Majority of the CTs are over on this side of the map, but most of them don't have a rifle. Starry does, however. And now we're looking at this glass cannon, a little concerned, perhaps.
Yeah, Amelia maybe just pulled the trigger finger a little bit too much going through that smoke in mid. It was looking really good for Lynn Vision, but now the rotation over to B is kind of open, and so Lynn Vision have to start scrambling for a bit of info or even making that gamble themselves. And here's really where it comes down to Wings Up making the correct call, because if they default back over to B now after Lynn Vision has stacked 3 members over there, then they walk into 2 AKs and the round is very losable. But if they make the call to just go straight to A, then they win the round.
Well,
Or maybe not. They've taken a little bit too long now. Starry there with the AK. All it takes is Blogus missing this shot. And he's wisely not actually going to go for the peak. Does end up actually crossing into cams. And so in the end, it looks like the round is going to be safe. 4 wings up.
westmelon, though, he's been on a heater for a reason, but the pop flash is beautiful from Blogus to set up flying. And setting up flying is a recipe for success. This man has been underrated in the Chinese scene for quite a while. Never really finding his way onto a top 2 side. Always kind of been similar to what we said about Xiao Sage. And in fact, they did play on some same teams together. Sitting on, you know, the 3rd, 4th best Chinese team. Never really getting the call up, even though sometimes his performances may kind of warrant it at times.
Yep. Sometimes it do be like that. Okay. That's not worked out very well for Lan. And now that's a really big problem for Wings Up because they have lost all map control. And Lynn Vision starting to work their way through said map. Zaka getting info out of mid. Amelia's going to try to hold on to the A site, but even honestly has the existence here of G as well. This is going to be a fantastic round for Lynn Vision, surely. She is caught off guard. Zaka as well, a little bit too fast on the flank. Hang on, it's all falling apart. Starry is going to have to do it himself. Wings Up, they just pumped the brakes, and Lynn Vision got ants in their pants. Blogus do not want to be missing this shot, and he will not. 5-4, the first time in the series now where you can really say Wings Up are actually in the lead.
They just brawl their way into the A site. And out of a bad situation, you really get the sense that Lynn Vision is starting to cotton on to exactly what Wings Up is doing. Lan has been defaulting Bridge as the 1 in the 1-4 every single time, and Lynn Vision double peak him in that round. Lynn Vision contesting that A main control as well. You can see they recognize what Wings Up are doing on the T side. But some solid spacing and trading and some really good aim tools being taken is kind of making the difference right now for Wings Up. Coach having a few words there to Lan, I believe. Talking about how to approach the next couple of rounds, but Wings.
Yeah, you got to remember the map is leaning toward the T's, but do get the sense that Lynn Vision could have cleaned up a couple more of these CT rounds. They had the players where they needed to. It's not as if they haven't read the situations correctly. They just haven't really quite capitalized on them. And obviously now they're being punished for that.
Pretty clean looking anti-eco here. 6 up for Wings Up. 2 left to play in the half. Lynn Vision with another buy on in here. We see a level of depth for Wings Up. Any kind of adaptation. They continue to go for this 1-4 canals into A main control. And Lynn Vision are clearly starting to cotton onto that and recognize that, play around it quite heavily. Wouldn't be surprised to see something a little different this time. And indeed, it seems like Wings Up going to go for that pick towards B main approach perhaps, or no, this time working into water side, maybe looking to contest E-box and set up some kind of a B split.
Blogus going to miss the shot, and so the Molotov thrown in his face will keep Wings Up at bay for a moment.
Vision scared them away with layered Molotovs out through E-box, and they shut them out with the smoke, keeping the CTs contained to water. Another Molotov bounces on in, but that won't push Starry out of E-box this time. So Wings Up being pushed out of that part of the map will now look to contest A main, but there's already 3 players here for Wings Up, and this is a bit of a bait setup around the pillar. Amelia to take first contact, backed up by Zaka, and Cheese over here as well.
Yeah, but what I'll say is that Lynn Vision have constantly had players in the right positions, but haven't necessarily won those rounds anyway, so I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility that Wings Up can still find a way to win this one. Amelia, though, has other ideas. He's found that double kill. Good trade for Zaka's death. With 37 seconds left on the clock, Wings Up, if they wanted to make the call to go back over to B, they'd have to do it pretty quickly, and they have not done so. G posted on the line. This time the AWP is going to strike.
Yeah, back to B. 20 seconds on the clock. Starry going to dance around the pillar there. westmelon on the rotation.
Well, that's just a bit too easy for Starry in the end. Bloggers hit a nice shot onto westmelon, but you can't watch multiple angles coming out of dark. It's just such an awkward spot to enter the site from. Looks like we're going to have another tech pause here.
Two-man setup in A main. Lynn Vision quite heavily contesting that part of the map, not wanting to allow Wings Up to go for it. Good early round read from Wings Up. You could see that they had a great idea of the shoulder spot approach to E-Box that Lynn Vision were going for, and Bloggers very clearly wanted to try to pick Starry early round. So you can see they're well prepared. They have a good approach. Definitely looking like a better map of theirs than Nuke, that's for sure. Again, some quieter members from Wings Up, though. Individually, this will not be Gas's most proud series. I think the same can be said for Land. Wasn't he one of the slower ones in the last map too?
Yeah. He's got to get on the gas. Got to listen to some initial D.
That's it.
Oh,
In his case, initial D is probably stood for initial death.
It's true. And it's strange, isn't it? Because like you would look at this Wings Up roster and say, okay, they shouldn't really have too many nerves or anything like that around being on land. They played at ESL Challenger Melbourne back in 2022 and had a pretty good result there. The Chinese core, at least, obviously.
Yeah, I think that it's really just the added mental strain of this communication factor, and it bleeds through into many different areas. It's the reality of the situation. You know, people get nervous about different things. You might not be nervous about playing Counter-Strike, but if you're not confident in the team system, that can definitely add to the nerves. Wings Up looking to contest middle. So again, changing things up. Double AWP comes out for Lynn Vision though here. Tried to go for the pop flash play to peak bridge in the mid round, and Blogus was Delta Dink, but that's going to be it for the time being. Blogus bides his time well and actually peeks into the opposing AWPer on E-Box side. Able to find the man advantage for Wings Up. Could they find themselves a 7th here?
Yeah, look, Wings Up have definitely been putting together a decent T side, but that is a nice little 1-2 punch from westmelon. Brings back the numbers, that's for sure, but he'll need to be careful about his timing if he wants to re-smoke main. Does come through at a pretty good time. Some util might get tossed out here by Wings Up, and we'll give away the idea that they're headed over toward the B site. You can already kind of see a float coming through from Zaka into mid. Amelia's pushed out onto A long. They've got information. There's nothing happening over there. They're pretty well informed that this is going to end up being a B finish for Lynn Vision Gaming, and they've got the numbers over there that they need to defend. So 6 apiece will be the equalizing scoreline at the end of the half. Lynn Vision maybe not happy with that, but at least it checks out. Well, a little bit more excitement in the second map than what we had anticipated. Scoreline is 6 apiece. Wings Up put together a pretty good T side. And Lynn Vision maybe fumbled a couple of rounds. Is that fair to say? What do you reckon, Pussy? Because to me, it kind of felt like there was definitely at least 2 rounds there that Lynn Vision could have won, where they had the players where they needed to be, but they didn't actually manage to convert the hold. That kind of changed the way that half played out.
I wouldn't say necessarily fumbled. I think, yeah, I would agree with you. They had pretty good reads for the most part, but I feel that Wings Up's ability to brawl their way out of bad situations have been pretty good this game, despite a couple of slower members. Quick pacing into middle here for Lynn Vision, and Land's going to take the first head off.
Got to be a good feeling for him. Has been struggling to frag in this entire series, so even contributing 1 on the pistol can maybe be enough, but how about 2? That could be even better. And now eyes turn toward westmelon. He's been leading from the front for this Lynn Vision roster all day long. They have managed to clear out the A bomb site, and he's got the nasty job of now trying to 1v4, running out of bullets. I think Bloggers wanted to get the knife kill in there, but that option was taken away from him. But the job of winning this series now 2-0 just got even more difficult for Wings Up, because not only did they lose the pistol, but they also didn't get the bomb plant down.
And flying, hamming up Land a little. Got himself a nice little 3k pistol. That's going to be a bit of a confidence settler for him. Allow him to start to work his way back into this matchup after a comparatively quieter first 3 halves. It'd be time for things to turn around for him. Aggression out B main, quite dry from Bloggers there, looking to farm himself his ult fund perhaps and get his stat pad on. Land here inside the bridge smoke with an A1S could be a troublesome position. Smoke onto spawn side. Westmelon's found flying in the meanwhile. Straight through the bridge smoke. Land's run out of bullets.
Oh, it's all getting a bit messy, isn't it?
Straight
Zach
to
is
A,
on
that's
his
gonna
bike.
be a plant.
He's running. He does not want a bar of it, but he's going to have to take the fight. Scared about crossing A main, but he actually does kind of get away. And
Spawn
honestly,
aggression.
the plant hasn't gone down, so I almost feel like Lynn Vision might have missed a trick there, because now their chances of getting a plant are severely diminished. Starry might have been spotted there in CT already. I think he has been. Wings Up at the very least are going to double peek that. So again, interesting choice from the Lynn Vision cohort not to get the plant down.
I think I like the approach, but the spacing was a little off. They tried to go for that spawn peak. Kreaz has been very on point. I think if it was another player, they may have potentially got caught off guard by that, but he instantly returns a headshot. The crosshair placement was impeccable from him. And Wings Up, credit to them, they double swing in with the MP9s and pick up both of those M4s at the end of the round, I'm pretty sure. So not losing as much as they may have. Now into the first gun round here. Money not looking to crash out for some of these Wings Up players. A utility pressure onto E-box and the front side of B from Lynn Vision. Continuing to apply that pressure with a progression smoke into dark. Now a smoke onto house and a Molotov onto double door. Lynn Vision working the map quite heavily, but without much utility left over in the mid to late round. They may struggle. 1 for 1. Bogus does take down Amelia, and that's going to be the AWP hitting the deck for the CT side, but a great info peak. Wings Up should have a little bit better of an idea of what's going on, seeing multiple players outside of A here.
A couple of players just going to get flashed into A long. They really have only left flying there solo. Smoke straight onto the fire. Lynn Vision want to keep that pace up. They want to get into the site before the rotation has come across, and they're unsuccessful in doing so. You've already got Land in the site now alongside Flying, who's already struck for 1, and Starry, he might have done more damage to G than he did to anybody else there. I'm not sure what that was.
Yeah, I cannot explain that one. Wings
Just thought he
Up.
saw something, I guess.
Yeah. Now really in the driver's seat. That's a very convincing gun round 1 from them. Land can't even believe it. Just smiling, laughing to himself that the T's are shooting each other inside of the smoke.
I can't really believe it. They weren't even in the smoke, though. That's the thing. Like, they were behind it, I guess, but they could clearly see each other. Just whether or not he thought he maybe saw something else on the other side of the smoke. But it looks like it was a tack timeout probably coming through from Lynn Vision, which wouldn't be too much of a surprise at this point. Saw Gum, the coach, with a few words to say. Hopefully some words of wisdom, because this is, I mean, this is very really in danger now of going through to a map 3, and Lynn Vision will not be pleased to see that.
Yeah, they're letting this one bleed out far too much. I think switching off a little bit. Hero AK out for Zaka. Pistols and armor purchased up. Like I said, a pretty clean round for Wings Up in the previous, which is sweating their economy a little bit, but they need to have a clean anti-force here. It's only a half buy with a Hero AK, but that could definitely do some serious economic damage to the CT side here if they take it for granted. If not, cause a bit of an upset. Multiple T's positioned around bridge. Double peek comes in. Land wide swinging, instantly punished. Zaka takes his head off. A1S on the deck.
Flying, also losing quite a significant amount of his HP. Lynn Vision wanted to pick the pace up in through mid. Thought about going camps. The Molotov has kept them away from that area of the map, but still other avenues of attack for them to work with. Logos, once again, is going to have to be the one to strike, but he can only get a 1-for-1 with that orb. So kreaz, see what he can do. Another fresh import for Wings Up, and that's already a very nice peek. He gets info off of that one as well, and knows that Lynn Vision are going to be into the site. That said, plant does go down.
Oh, that's a very big missed opportunity for Amelia. Should have been a freebie onto Flying, and Zaka, very low HP on E-Box side, but great patience from Flying as the rest of the CT start to scale into the site.
Zaka on a good line, but he doesn't get the killing blow onto Gas. It's a lot of damage to be sure, but a lot of damage is not enough.
Really could have been an upset round there. Actually, pretty big missed shots from Lynn Vision. That's yet another round that goes becking. I'm not really sure what's going on with these guys. Kind of switching off. Maybe the dominating nuke performance, like I was saying, the rest of them playing quite disruptive in general to Wings Up's nuke gameplay, but it has to be said, majority of the fracking performance put in by westmelon. The rest of the team looking a little sleepy today, Jordan.
Yep. Picking up what you're putting down. 2.28 rating from westmelon on the first map. And he's 17 and 11 on the second map. You put those numbers together, you think it's going to be a 2-0 every day of the week for Lynn Vision, but I am really having my doubts now. Might be getting at least another map.
Progression molly here for Zaka. Takes some dark control. Burning alive in his own Molotov, but he has found a timing here to actually potentially find Gas. Good reaction though. Emilia's found Flying over in A main in the meanwhile, and westmelon peeks out B main and finds kreaz. So a man advantage, A main control, and a lot of pressure on B here for Lynn Vision. And not only that, they've smoked house and put Starry in a pretty forward position across bridge. Surely you should be able to convert this 4-on-3 with as much map control as the T's have garnered.
You would think so. It's on paper as simple as walking in through mid straight into A. Maybe leaving someone to watch for the rotation, but see what Lynn Vision ends up doing. Have to imagine it'll be an A finish though, with Amelia trending on that side of the map as well.
Yeah, most likely. It's going to resolve it as the 1-3. Like you said, walking through middle. Wings Up on the other hand. Their money is really not where they'd like it to be, and they are rocking the double orb, so I would actually not be surprised to just see them save off the back of this A side execute from Lynn Vision. And we'll see a bit of a nothing late round here. Wings Up wanting to retain the double orb and potentially put together another buy in the next. Their economy is quite heavily under pressure this whole time though. You can see the cash will definitely be depleted after the buy in the next round, and with 4 players surviving for Lynn Vision, I dare say they're going to start to look a little healthier, and we're far from the end of the game here. 7-10 is definitely still a doable scoreline here for Lynn Vision to 2-0 if they can wake up a little. This is the thing about Lynn Vision that sets them apart from a lot of other Chinese teams, and where they, I think, draw a little bit of inspiration from the likes of the Tai Lu ex-Cyclone guys, is that when the rifling and aim dueling side of the gameplay is not working out well for them, they can flex back on the fundamentals like you're seeing here and just rely on solid mid to late rounding to get the job done, or some good strats and good calling.
Hmm. I like the early call, though, from Wings Up there to make sure that they save those guns. Not something you'll see from every team all the time. Even losing an extra gun there can have really significant ramifications later on into the half. And there's definitely a world where Wings Up can still lose this map, particularly on the CT side with money being so tight. Lan copping a lot of damage, but Flying is holding strong, and that trade into mid has definitely not worked out for Lynn Vision. So, again, not just looking for the round victory anymore, but also just taking a couple of guns away here from Wings Up and keeping that economy honest is going to be a premium for the rest of this round.
Still could go the way of Lynn Vision. Amelia's given a lot of control in A main here. Zaka on this mid timing against the Famous is somewhat doable, but safe positions here for Wings Up. Sitting right back in heaven. Land very low. Zaka trying to use the crowd here.
Well, Amelia might have just gotten baited a little bit there, but they do end up both going down, and I don't even know if that's really the crowd coming into play, to be quite honest with you. That's just brilliance from Amelia.
I think they recognize that in a man advantage situation, you're going to play those retake positions from Heaven's side every day of the week. Zach has found gas in the meanwhile. 2-on-4 that could break the money of the CT side. Kreaz is forced to turn away and save. That was not a mistake that Wings Up could be affording. And although they were in a position to potentially close Anubis here, I feel that's starting to slip away with that round win in the 2-on-4.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. If Wings Up was on T side and Lynn Vision was on CT, you'd probably still have them in a strong position. But now the money is definitely going to start to work against Wings Up. Lynn Vision starting to maybe find their feet a little bit in this game. It's taken a long time. Still not over yet for either team, of course. How do you lose from this? I mean, you're up 4-on-2 at one point.
Double AWP setup in the Heaven side. Should never be allowed. Amelia just walking up and getting 2 kills for free. It's a frustrating position for Wings Up, and those are the kind of rounds that you'll have to go back in the VOD review and watch back over, and it's going to be painful. Now only a singular AWP and a full save, or probably just pistols around the AWP. The coach has been talking to Lan quite a bit directly, as opposed to speaking to the rest of the team, either allowing him to make individual adaptations or just trying to put the coach and IGL power duo heads together and, you know, decide what the overall approach should be.
Or does he not speak English?
Yeah, he might not, you're right.
That could be a factor as well. Has to get relayed through the teammates. Not sure, obviously, but could be a possibility. Wings Up have gone for the 5 stack over toward the A site, which, to be fair, is where Lynn Vision have been ending quite a lot. They've already spotted 2, now 3. Yeah, okay. Orb's gone. Westmelon has just walked in there and killed 3 players. He didn't get the 30 bomb in the last game because there just wasn't enough rounds. He's kind of gunning for it again here. He's at 21 now.
I think that is the kind of thing that you can make a read on as well, you know, doing your prep as the coach. It's definitely something that I've focused on in the past. Certain teams, and particularly, you know, there are maps where certain sites are higher percentage anti-eco a lot of the time, and teams will tend to hit them in the same way, anti-eco. So definitely could have been a read there with the tack timeout to stack over towards A anti-eco. It's something that has definitely worked for me in the past. There was a pause. I didn't see if it was a tack timeout, but the coach is talking, so I'm assuming it's a tack timeout. I'm seeing multiple people talking. maybe it was a tech.
Pretty tense stuff.
Yeah. I think Wings Up are looking a little concerned, and I can't blame them. Lynn Vision's starting to wake up a little bit. Really wiping the floor with Wings Up anti-eco sends a little bit of a message, for sure. Straight back into the action though, after a brief pause. Single out for Wings Up. Running out of room in this game now. Lynn Vision definitely applying the press after a bit of a sleepy start. Once again, util pressure towards the B side of the map. Molotovs to be exchanged on dark between both teams. Early util to try to push the T's out of dark. Zaka still going to apply the same util pressure towards that side, and he actually walks straight through the smoke, and the Molly inside of the fading smoke of the HE nade that he invested almost finds a pick onto Blogus. Now the B main aggression, all heard by westmelon, who's just biding his time right now.
Ooh, Zaka's gone down. Kind of just floating around in canals on his own. westmelon doesn't win that duel either. That is
Aggression.
2 big players lost for Lynn Vision.
Lan, I think, dropping from bridge. Flying, though, has lost his life over on this side of the map. And Amelia, another double entry on A.
Yeah.
Keeps turning around these man disadvantage situations for Lynn Vision. Huge impact once again. And Wings Up with no kit. Do they dare attempt the 3-on-3 retake?
No way. No way. Not with the money they've got. I don't want to give this round away, but also picking up these guns is just not going to be good news at all. They managed to force all of Lynn Vision into A main, but that time has ticked away so substantially. Pop Flash is going to go through. The defuse is on. This is getting tight. Lynn Vision. Oh, they just got him. I think it was G that got the kill. They don't have time for the defuse there for kreaz, and to make matters worse, he's going to lose his gun to the bomb as well. So it's worked out about as well as you would have hoped it could have for Lynn Vision, given the circumstances. It was an awkward post plant.
I'm not sure if they knew there was a kid dropped on the site, but that was heads up to dive. Your anchor player flying there, I believe, drops a kit on the site, so that makes it a lot more doable to actually try to complete that retake, and they dove straight on the kit, but unfortunately couldn't stop that defuse being denied. This game is very tight. Half bar coming out now for Wings Up. Through absolutely everything, the whole kitchen sink at that retake, and couldn't quite get it done. So they will now concede the lead to a Lynn Vision who is looking reinvigorated.
Another pop flash into A main. Doesn't allow Amelia to go any further around the corner though. That pop flash really just for the front of A main. But it is going to prompt Lan to go fishing for some info, and that'll be his undoing. So a little bit more util invested to continue to clear this position out.
Yeah, progression Molotov. Zari's found 2 in middle. And it's looking like another pretty cut and dry anti-eco here for Lynn Vision. Last 2 players on A. Not too much to do for a Wings Up side, who I think still have their last timeout sitting there in the back pocket. Aggression definitely put them in a good position. And in fact, Wings Up, it has to be said, a 4-on-2, Amelia double entries into A in a round where they definitely could have put together a gun round and put some more pressure on Lynn Vision. And then a 5-on-3 where their B main and canals drop aggression puts them at an advantage, and Amelia once again double entries them on A. Cannot be allowed. These are the mistakes that will knock them out of this IEM China close qualifier.
Yeah, look, Lynn Vision getting bailed out of trouble in a couple of rounds. But I suppose that's what we've come to expect from a team like Lynn Vision. Once again, kreaz, the last man alive for Wings Up. It's not really going to result in too much. Not even a weapon for him to retrieve unless he gets this kill onto Starry, but the angle is not favorable for him. And if he steps any closer, I think he'll die to the bomb. Not going to come to that though, as Starry will finish it off and let them know that it is Lynn Vision that are back in control once again, and 11-10 the scoreline. 2 steps away.
All the boys looking focused. Gum with a big smile on his face. I think they know they're well and truly within touching distance now. Wings up though, back on the double AWP. The rifle aggression is what found them the most degree of success in the previous gun round. Let's see. It is looking like a slower, more defaulty round here for Lynn Vision. The nade blows open the smoke and kreaz punished for aggressing behind it.
1 for 1, not quite good enough here for flying just yet. Numbers are still comfortable for Lynn Vision. Their conversion rate with the numbers advantage has been quite good.
Ooh,
I'd say the same for Wings Up. Logos, very tight line. westmelon not going to be finding anything there.
As the 3-on-3 elapses, Starry feeling that it's unlikely the AWP will hang around that deep in middle, but instead opts to full back, group up with his player and double walk on through dark. Starry through B main. Gas alone playing the site pillar. Now walking his way into Ninja. Bloggers trending towards the B side as well as this smoke flies in.
Back up. Good for the 1. Good for the 2. And that is enough for Lynn Vision because she is watching canals as well. And Lynn Vision go 1 step closer. Just 1 round away now. It's been a pretty good effort from Wings Up, but they're just not up to the task today, it seems.
Couple of key mistakes in this game of Anubis. Look, Nuke, they weren't present at all, so at least they're going to be a little happier with this performance, but disappointing in a different manner because this game was definitely winnable for them, and it feels they've let it slip through their fingers. A steel helmet-esque buy out of Wings Up to close out the game, not that they have much choice. No util really to speak of, and it looks like double aggression through dark, and on bridge side is going to be the name of the game for the CT side.
Yeah. Aggression through the E-box here from Wings Up. They almost lined up for Zaka, but look, in the end, I mean, the trades are just way too powerful there for Lynn Vision, and it was almost so clean. But look, flying has kept it interesting for an extra brief moment, making a lot of noise, and it is fitting that it is westmelon who gets another one. 23 to finish the map off. So 25 in map 1, 23 in map 2. That was certainly a captain's knock from westmelon, as he really led from the front for Lynn Vision and ensured that they were the team to go through.